Does the U.S. Navy have too many uniforms? That's a great question. Let me know down in the comments below what you think, or what is your favorite or least favorite uniform down in the comments below. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MGTV for another military video for all your military video needs. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below if you have questions. But as always, let's roll right to the topic, and that is, what uniforms are there? Do we have too many? And how are you going to wear them while you're in the Navy? Because I know it's confusing for many people before they actually come in. The first one I want to cover is the dress white and dress blue uniform. This uniform is confusing for a lot of people because they see both and they don't understand why we would wear one over the other. But I'll explain here, and that is it's seasonal. Obviously, there are places that are warmer weather where they're not going to wear the dress blue, the heavier wool type material, which is probably going to be pretty hot if you're in places like Guam, Hawaii, things like that, where they keep dress whites as the all year round uniform. Most people use this for like a dinner dress uniform in regards to like a Navy ball, cornball, something like that. You can wear it to special events like a wedding. You can do things that are just much more formal. Sometimes they can have people that are watchstanders in this uniform as well. So sometimes if you have to do like a quarterdeck watch, you may have to be in this. And understand that technically the dress blue uniform is the utmost, like you can always default to that if you don't know where you're actually at, like what their location preference at that time is. So if you show up in dress blues, they're not going to hurt you or tell you that you're in the wrong. It's just a default uniform if you're not sure. But obviously most times you can just ask somebody. Another not so common one is the dinner dress. So if you go to a Navy ball or something like that, you will see people that have gone to a Navy dress uniform, which is a step up. It's like a dinner dress, if I can word it properly. It's one of those things that most people are only going to wear if you're going to one of these ball events or you're doing it for like some kind of marriage or wedding ceremony. Usually that's the only time that people do it because it's so expensive. But yes, there are regulations on that. One is my least favorite uniform ever, and if you believe that, thumbs up the video as well, and it's the service uniform. This is the tan top, black bottoms with a garrison cover, and this is more so for just like a normal work day where you're not being as official or as fancy as a dress uniform, but maybe a more just office type environment, if that makes sense. Pretty much a place where you're not going to worry about getting it dirty or something like that, where you're just kind of doing a regular office job. That's where this can kind of come into play. When I first joined the Navy and I worked at the hospital, since I wasn't in a patient care environment where I could get dirty, I had to wear it every day, which really sucked being on my feet. I find this uniform the most uncomfortable, to be honest, and a lot of people really did enjoy the previous uniform of the Johnny Cash Blues or the Summer Whites. If you don't know what those are, they look like this. Those were seasonal, just like the dress whites and dress blues. So we were trying to condense uniforms down and make it a little more simple. The next one is the working uniform, NWU Type 3 now, which is the official green one. People are still wearing the blue one if they lingered on from having them from boot camp or they haven't been paid. But yes, it's a working uniform. This is pretty much the standard across the entire Navy right now. Most people are going to wear this on a daily basis whenever they are doing their regular job. This is just your standard workday uniform, and it's great because before, a lot of people weren't wearing utilities, in my opinion. In the corpsman field, if you're in the hospital, everyone was wearing some kind of service uniform. So now that we have these, this is kind of like the more acceptable military uniform, which I agree with because it's much more comfortable to wear this versus a service uniform. The next one I'm going to talk about that's also for working is the coveralls. This is something that shipboard sailors use actually on a daily basis underway. Back in the day, this uniform you could wear off the ship as well, but now under current regulations, you have to stay on board the ship if you're going to wear coveralls, or you have to be underway in order to wear them. So this is if you're typically on a ship and you're going to be getting dirty, and it's also pretty much like a big jumpsuit. A lot of people really enjoy this because it's low maintenance and you don't have to worry about it getting dirty, except for whenever you have to use the bathroom. That's kind of the only time people don't like this uniform. Next one is the PT gear. With this one, we've obviously gotten some new ones. We had the minion looking ones with the yellow shirt that looked disgusting, hated it. And for some reason, they always held the stinky smell of sweat in them. And you also had the New Balance shorts or Sophie shorts. That's kind of changing to this new one, but either a PT gear, most people aren't going to wear this except for if you're doing a PRT or you're doing some kind of group PT exercise where you're required to wear it. Be a heads up, don't be a boot and wear it when you're not actually doing anything work related, just letting you know. This will also include the tracksuit, which I don't really see anyone wear, to be honest. Again, it seems a little boot-like to me. If you're gonna wear something that's long sleeve, most people are just gonna wear the sweat top or sweat bottoms with this uniform because it's just one of those things where you're usually just trying to stay warm. The last one I want to go into, which I want to kind of touch base with because it's kind of a special thing, and that is civilian clothes. So yes, there are people that are authorized to wear civilian clothes in certain circumstances. So I have a buddy that is actually stationed at a embassy where all he does is wear a suit and ties. So there are places in the military where you will have to kind of blend in, where you're not going to wear your typical uniform on a day-to-day basis, and they give you a allowance in order to buy these clothes. So understand that, yes, you can see military people that you may shake hands with and you're like, I didn't think that you were in the military, but yes, they are. Not very common, but it can happen. But if you do have questions about any of these uniforms, how to wear them, what they are, what they look like, all that kind of stuff, I've linked the Navy Personnel Command down below that you can check out all the regulations if you have questions. Down in the comments below which ones you love and which ones you hate. If you could change any of them, what would it be? But as always, guys, if you have questions, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.